Hey everybody, this is a quick abridged hybrid planning worksheet overview. We had some questions about this for the muddiest points, so I'm going to go over it a little bit more. Here we have the categories, the activities, and the minutes. So we already put the categories here. So what we want you to do is to fill out the activities and the minutes here. And for the minutes, estimate. I know everybody varies, but think a typical student would be able to do this in how many minutes? This first category, this is the pre-work. Now, we're just doing the abridged hybrid planning worksheet. So for right now, what we want you to do is for pre-work, we want you to do the online portion, and then we want you to transition into the introduction that would be face-to-face. So think of the module or the week you're going to be working on and base it on that. Now, pre-work, it's what they do in addition to class time. When we talked about this, when it came to the first week of class, we said you might not have them do a lot, and you might not do a lot of high stakes things even. Okay, it might be something like the pre-work, maybe they're taking a syllabus quiz. Maybe they're sending something in the Dropbox so you can see if they know how to use it. Maybe it's something like they're introducing themselves in discussion. So think about the week that you will be working on for purposes of this workshop. Put the activities here and then put how many minutes you think it's going to take. Now, the next portion, so this next box here, is the introduction. So when they show up in class, how are you going to introduce the week to them? Making sure that it does have some relevance here with the pre-work that they're doing. Okay, first off, you'll have them. You can do things in your introduction like activating prior learning. So it might have them taking a quick little quiz to see if they did the reading. Maybe it's everybody has to come in with a story that they found or a website or a picture. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do, and this is for student engagement purposes, you want something that when they come in, you can go ahead and grab their attention. You know, this is where you perk them up so that they are ready to learn. And then what you're also doing in the introduction is you're going ahead and explaining the relevance of what they're going to be learning in the face-to-face portion. Now, remember again, this is abridged. So we're having you start with what do they do online before they come to your course? And then what are they doing that week? The next portion is instruction and practice. Now, guided instruction. If you need an example for guided instruction, that's exactly what I'm doing now. Okay, that's what it looks like online. And what Stephanie and I were doing was sitting there or walking around or taking notes. That's another example of guided instruction. So what we want you to do here is think about what guided instruction you're going to be doing in the face-to-face part of the class. Are you going to have them doing any discovery? Like, are you going to have them take out their textbooks? Did they have to bring something into class that they're going to be talking about in small group discussions or anything like that? Are you going to have them doing any practice? And we had you do practice. When we handed this out and had you work on that, that was practice. Now, extension for motivated learners. This part is you might have a student who's really bright. Maybe you have some student who wants to take it further than what you've done. That's where you're thinking about the extension for motivated learners, especially if you have them doing individual work and there's one student who might finish before the other students. That's where you have it ready. Okay, so you've had them do the pre-work before they got to class. They came into class and you introduced the topic. You saw exactly where they were when it came to their prior learning. You grabbed their attention. You explained the relevance of the course. Then you gave them some guided instruction. You let them discover some things. Maybe they were in a computer lab. They had to look things up. You handed out a worksheet and they had to work through it. And then you saw that there's this one student who just finishes way too fast. You gave them an extra assignment. Okay. Now, you're done with all that, and now you're going to be moving on. Now, this formative assessment part, we put it in here, but quite honestly, you're doing formative assessment already. You're walking around, you're checking for understanding, you're seeing what's showing up on the worksheet. So you can put that formative assessment right here. We won't hold it against you, even though you might have been doing it more in here. You can put the assessment here. Now, the summative assessment, maybe you're going to hand out the what is the muddiest point before they leave. Maybe you're going to give them a quiz or a test before they leave. This is all things you're going to decide on whether you're doing it that week or if you're going to save it for later. Now, because you want some kind of demonstration of mastery before they leave. So, we're just having you do this abridged hybrid planning worksheet. So the bridge to the next section is they've done a little bit they've done a little bit online before they came to your face-to-face class. They've done the face-to-face. How are you going to go ahead and bridge them to the next portion online? So this is what we want you to do for the abridged hybrid planning worksheet. If you have any questions, no problem. Go ahead and just let me know. Thanks.